Hey everyone, welcome to part 2 out of 6 of my ZBLL series. In today's video, I'm going to be covering the Diag subset of algs. And so that's whenever you have these two colors up here being the same, and then these two being opposites. So here's the first case. Pretty much you're going to be looking for this 2x2 block. And for this case specifically, you can find the 2x2 block on sort of the left side of the cube as opposed to the right. And so here's the alg you'll do. Breaking it down, you pretty much just start out by taking out this pair, and then you're going to do an L prime to, I guess, separate the pair, and then you're going to join it back up without inserting it, and then the rest you solve pretty intuitively by just solving this back and then finishing off with an M prime. For execution, I would recommend just using a pinch move for this U move here, and then for this L prime, I would kind of do it L prime without regripping, if that makes sense, and the rest of it is pretty self-explanatory. And then for this last M prime, you're going to use your ring finger here. Faster, look like this. This next case is the mirror of the previous one. And so pretty much you just have this 2x2 block once again, but this time it's on the right side of the cube as opposed to the left. And so here's the alg you do. You do a U2 to bring the headlights into the front. And then this is just the inverse of the previous alg actually. Bring it down, you just do an L prime, and they're going to take out this pair, and they're going to do a U, and then you're going to do RUR prime to kind of separate this pair, and then you solve the rest pretty intuitively by just finishing off the cross and then just inserting this pair. For execution, I would do sort of an L prime here without a regrip, if that makes sense. And then these U moves, I kind of like to use my left index here, and then the rest is pretty self-explanatory. Faster, it would look like this. For the next 4 cases, we're going to be recognizing them by locating a singular bar somewhere on the cube. So for this first case, we have this bar kind of on the left side right here. And so here's the alg you'll do. Breaking it down, we just start out by taking out the pair with R prime U2R. And then we do an F move, and then we just insert this pair back into its slot and finish the rest. For execution, I would make sure to do a double flick for the U2 here, F by pinching with my right index finger, and then for this part, I would do a U prime with my left index, and then for the next U prime, I'm going to use my middle finger, and then here for the F prime, just use my left index like this. So faster, it would look like this. Well, this next case is the mirror of the last one, and so here we have a bar, but it's on sort of the right side here. And so here we're going to do a U prime to put the headlights on the left, and this is the alg you'll do. Breaking it down, we started by just doing a commutator to bring this corner out here. R prime D prime R, U prime, R prime D R. And then we cancel into solving this F2L pair, which just take out the edge and insert. For execution, I would just make sure to use my left index finger here for the D primes and Ds. So like this. And then here we just double flick for the U2. And then I like to use my left index finger here for this U move. And faster, it would look like this. This next case is the inverse of the previous one. And so here we have a bar, but it's on the front, and specifically the front left. And so here's the alg you'll do. Breaking it down, we just start out by splitting up this pair, inserting this edge like this, and then just doing a commutator to finish the rest. And for execution, my execution is really weird. This might be really bad, but this is kind of how I like to do it. Go ahead and burn me in the comments if it's really bad. But so I start out by doing RU prime R prime, U prime, and then for this U2, I actually like to do sort of an 8-0 finger trick like this. And then I just solve the rest of the commutator just how you would normally do a finger trick. And here it is a little faster. For this case, we have a bar on the front right here, like this. Here we're going to do a U2, and then this is the alg you'll do. Here, I'll just take out this pair, and then do a U, and then from here, I don't really know how to explain this. I think this you just have to memorize. But you do R prime, U prime, R prime, D prime, R, U prime, R prime, D, R2. For finger tricks, I would just start with the regrip, and then the rest should be pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, faster would look like this. This next case, we have essentially these two bars on the right side of the cube. It looks really similar to just this NB perm. Here it is for comparison. And so here's the alg you do. You do U prime. For memorization, we pretty much just start out by doing this COLL, which is just wide R U2 R prime sledge, and then from here we sort of cancel into an anti-soon. So we do a U2, solve this edge, and then just insert the pair. And so for finger tricks, I would make sure that double flick here, and then for your sledge, just using both your index fingers like this, and then the rest is pretty self-explanatory. So here it is a little faster. Here's the next case. And so this is the mirror of the last one. We have, once again, these two bars, but they're more on the left side of the cube instead of the right side. It looks a lot like this NB perm here. And so here's the alg you do. You do a U prime again, put the helix on the left. Breaking it down, we start by doing an R prime U2R. Then we're going to do an F, and then we're going to sort of pair up this pair without inserting it. So like this. Now we're going to actually insert it, and then we just finish it off. Execution, just doing a double flick here, F with your right index as a pinch, and then U prime. And then for the U, I kind of like to push with my left index. And then for this U, I like to drag and then finish it off. And so here it is a little faster. The last few cases are really bad for recognition in my opinion. So here's the first one. Personally, I like to think of it as an E perm where the corners are swapping this way. If you imagine I just twisted these corners, you can see how it's just an E perm and we have vertical corner swaps here. Another way to see it is that you just have these two bars on both sides of the cube. And so here's the alg you do. You do a U move, and then it's actually really easy to memorize. All it is just F inverse XC F prime, and then just doing this OLL alg. And so faster would look like this. This next case, we also sort of have an E perm pattern, but in this case, the swaps would be horizontal. You can see how these corners just need to swap, and same with these two. And I guess that's really the only way to recognize it. I guess you can also see we have these two sort of opposite blocks on both sides. But I would use what I use is the E perm sort of recognition. Here's the alg you do. It's actually pretty nice for memorization, because if you had learned full ZBLL from my series or from anywhere, it's just doing this alg twice. Whoop, sorry about that. And so in this case, you're just going to do an F, U, R, U, 2, R prime, and then you're going to do a U, and then it's just R, U, R prime, U, R, U, 2, R prime, and then just finishing it off. Faster would look like this. For this next case, I like to recognize it by seeing that there's sort of this like checkerboard Z perm pattern on the right side of the cube, like this. You could also recognize it as seeing just this one bar on the right side, but there's no bar on the left side. And so here's the alg you do. Breaking it down, pretty much you're just going to do an F move, and then we're going to insert this pair into the slot by doing U, R, U2, R prime, and then we're going to cancel into back anti-soon, and then we solve the rest kind of like a T perm, if you will, with this R, U, R prime, F prime finish. And so for finger tricks, I think I would usually use my thumb for this first F move, double flick for this U2 prime, and then another double flick here, and then this U move I like to either do my left index here or just drag, and then U2 prime, and then R, pinch U, R prime, thumb F prime, like this. Faster look like this. So here's the last case, and it's also the mirror of the previous one. And so pretty much once again, you're looking for this Z-perm checkerboard pattern, but this time it's on more of the left side of the cube as opposed to the right. I guess you could also see it as having this one bar on the left side, but not on the right side. And so here's how you do. You do a U prime. Breaking it down, we pretty much start by just taking out this pair with RE2R prime. And then we're going to do a commutator to kind of cycle these three corners around, just like this. And then here you just finish off with a winter variation, which is just doing a sledgehammer canceled into F inverse XEF prime. So, yep. For finger tricks, I would do a, start off by doing a double click on this U2, and then the D primes and Ds, I like to use my left ring finger here. And then the rest is pretty self-explanatory. For this last F prime, I like to either use my right thumb or my left index here with a pinch. And so faster it would look like this. That wraps it up for part 2 of my ZBLL series. As always, I hope you guys have been finding the series helpful for learning algs, and if there's anything that I can do to help, go ahead and leave a comment and I'd be happy to clarify. So yeah, thanks for watching.